Dear friends, today we are going to discuss about the development during adolescence. That is a third block and a unit, and we are going to discuss today the physical changes in during the adolescence. That is the first unit of block number 3. So, in the introductory part, there is 4 points. First point is that adolescence can be understood as a phase of transition from child to adult. Adolescence can be understood as a phase of transition from child to adult. It is from, second point, it is from 12 to 19 years. There are 3 stages for the adolescence: early adolescence, middle adolescence, and late adolescence. Next point is adolescence is the age of puberty and growth spurt. Puberty in boys is from 9 to 10 years, and starting in boys is from 9 to 10 years, and puberty in girls started during 13 to 12 to 13 years. So these are the major points in the introductory part. First one is adolescence can be understood the phase of transition from child to adult. It is from it is from 12 to 19 years. There are 3 stages of adolescence. They are early adolescence, middle adolescence, and late adolescence. Fourth point is that adolescence is the time for growth spurt and pubertal changes. It happens in boys at the age of 9 to 10, and in the case of girls it is from 12 to 30. Next subheading in this chapter is adolescent development. Next subheading in this chapter is adolescent development. In the meaning and definition, in adolescent development there is a subheading. First subheading is meaning and definition. Adolescence is the phase of transition from being a child to an adult. And during the adolescence, there is biological, psychological, and social changes taking place in an individual. Parents consider this as a stormy period because there is incredible change in the behavior of children during this period. So, in adolescent development, first subheading is meaning and definition. In meaning and definition, first point is the adolescence is the transition from being a child to an adult, and second point is there is biological, psychological, and social changes taking place during this period. And the third point is the behavior seemed to be confusing to parents. So this parents consider this period as a stormy period. Next subheading is early adolescence. Adolescence in early adolescence is a contradictory stage. It is because of the child is not yet mature, and at the same time he or she no longer a child. And second point is source of the physical changes is making source of irritation in children. The physical changes taking place in this period making irritation to them. And the fourth point is some who are physically not well grown feel somewhat inferior to others. The physically does not grown well feel as inferior when compared to others. And the fifth point is they search for their own real identity. Next point is the adolescence is a time when all on a sudden the world started looking different. The youngster face considerable competition. This is a competitive period. So first point is it is a contradictory phase because the child get the confusion that whether he or she is a child or adolescent. Second one is there is physical changes that make irritation to the children. Third point is the physical well grown, if they do not grown physically in a good manner, they feel inferiority, and it is a period of competition, and this is the period in which children seek identity. Then Next subheading is, so the adolescent in the adolescent development there is meaning and definition, early adolescence period and middle adolescence. Next is middle adolescence. In the middle adolescence there is changes that occur in physical, mental, cognitive and sexual areas. Then friends have major role during this years. In this stage, in the middle adolescence, children start to write diaries and journals, and withdrawal from parents is also one notable feature in this age. So there is the points of middle adolescence are changes that occur in physical, mental, cognitive and sexual level. Friends play an important role in this period. They began to write diaries and journals during this period, and withdrawal from parents is the notable feature in the middle adolescence. So these are the 4 points in middle adolescence. Next is the late adolescence. Next period is late adolescence. Here, the youngster develop a firm identity. First point is they develop firm identity. Number 2, the greater emotional stability occurring during this period. 3, develop sense of humor. 4, they learn to express their feelings in words. And fifth one is self-reliant and take pride in their works. So first one is they develop firm identity during this period. 2, greater emotional stability. 3, develop sense of humor. 4, express their feeling in words. 5, self-reliant and take pride in works. So these are the 5 points in late adolescence. So in the case of adolescence, we studied meaning and definition, early adolescence, middle adolescence and late adolescence. Next is the physical development during adolescence period. Following are the physical development during adolescence period. In the introductory part, it is said that there is increase in body size and sexual maturity occur during this period. First point is increase in body size and sexual maturity is there during this adolescence. Then pituitary gland produce follicles and stimulating hormones during this period too. Number 2, pituitary gland produce follicles and stimulating hormone this period, and follicle stimulating hormone produce sperms to develop during the adolescence period. So following are the average ages when puberty changes may occur. Adolescence in males. It is a subheading, that is adolescence in males. Adolescent males. Height 4 to 12 inches. Age of puberty is 9 to, first point is height 4 to 12 inches. 2, age of puberty 9.5 to 14 years. 3, enlargement of testicles. 4, appearance of pubic hair. 5, hair under arms, on the face, voice changes and acne at 15 years of age. 6, nocturnal emission starting in this age, that is 14 years of age. 7th one, the body size will increase. 8, swelling in the area of their breast. In the case of some boys may get some swelling in the areas of their breast as a result of the hormonal changes that are occurring. This is common among teenage boys and is usually temporary condition. Then there is oily skin and sweating is happening in this period in boys. Then 10, penis become hard and erect because it is filled with blood. This is due to the hormonal changes. So these are the points which the adolescent changes that taking place for the adolescent male. Next is adolescent female changes. adolescent female, first point is height increase 2 to 10 inches. Age of puberty is number 2. Age of puberty is from 8 to 13 years. 3. First pubertal change is breast development. Number 4, pubic hair development. Number 5, hair under arms at 12 years develop. Then menstrual period starting. Sixth point is menstrual period is starting at the age 10 to 16.5. In the case of adolescent girls, the changes usually begins before the boys. There may be increase in hair growth among girls. Body shape will also begin to change. There is changes in their height and weight, but there may also be increase in the fat in the buttocks, legs and stomach. Their skin become oily and increase the oily skin and sweating also increase. Menstruation and menstrual period starting during this period. The 13th point is after the girl begins to menstruate, she is able to get pregnant. So these are the changes occurring in adolescent males and females. Next is the puberty. What is puberty? Next subheading is puberty. Puberty is 1 to 3 years process of hormonal and physical changes that cause the young person to reach sexual maturity. So puberty, first point is that puberty is 1 to 3 year process of hormonal and physical changes that cause the young person to reach sexual maturity. 1 to 3 year process and for physical and sexual maturity. Second point is emotions. There is enormous changes in the body, emotions, attitudes, values, intellect and relationship. Number 3, it may start from 9 to 10 years in boys and 12 to 13 years in girls. The fourth point is the child begin to develop sex drive, experience mood swings, develop relationship with people of same and opposite gender. Fifth point, some very visible and invisible changes that occur in individual's body. Next, sixth point is the external feeling is confusion and awkwardness, and internal chemistry, that harmony. All changes are interconnected and proceed smoothly within. Then puberty in boys. In seventh point is puberty in boys and girls begins in tiny corner of the brain called pituitary gland. So that is an important point. The puberty in boys and girls starting in the small portion of brain called pituitary gland, and it produces chemical messengers called hormones, and it is sent to the reproductive organs and release another set of hormone. In the case of boys it is testosterone and girls it is estrogen. So these are the puberty introductive part, pubertal changes, puberty in introductive part. And next is the pubertal changes that happen in male and female. The changes in the male body started at the age of 12 to 14, and following are the changes in following are the areas of changes. First one is penis, then foreskin. The skin that surrounds the head of the penis is loose and called foreskin. Then testicles. The testicles produce tadpole and shaped sperms during this period. Then fourth one is erection. An erection occurs when nerve center at the base of the boy's spinal cord send out impulses to the penis. Then ejaculation is emission of semen from penis. This is essential for reproduction. the sixth one is the genitals, which usually happens when the adolescent is at 15 to 16 years. Then wet dreams. In the adolescence period, boy can produce and release sperm. This is called wet dreams. And next is eighth one is growth spurt. The growth spurt in boys begins from 13 to 14 years and ends at 16 to 17 years. There is sudden increase in the height and weight in the boys. Then eighth one is ninth one is body odor. The adolescent sweat glands are becoming more active during this period. Next is 10th one is pimples. The oil glands or sebaceous glands produce the oily substance called sebum, and this make pimples for adolescents. Then sexual feelings, sexual thoughts and fantasies become aware of sexual stimuli around. Next is the adolescent females. Changes in female body can be considered in terms of visible and invisible changes. The invisible changes in females are following. First one is ovaries. There is 2 ovaries in the young girl's body, one on either side of the uterus and below the fallopian tube. These organs are located in lower abdomen. Ovaries are about an inch long, approximately size and shape of an almond, and certain tiny egg cells are there. The hormone called estrogen is also produced in the ovary. The pituitary gland send the message to the ovaries to produce this hormone during this period. Next invisible changes in uterus. In the uterus, it is called as womb. It's an upside down pear shaped structure inside a woman's abdomen, which is hollow, made of smooth muscles. This is where the baby grown, and during pregnancy the uterus expand to accommodate a full grown fetus. Next is fallopian tube. The fallopian tubes are called uterine tubes, and the tube open on each side into upper end of the uterus. The fallopian tube picks up the eggs released in their respective ovaries and push it into the uterus, and it takes 3 to 7 days for ovum to reach in the uterus. Next is vagina. Vagina is the passageway for muscular tube extending from the cervix to the external genitals. So these are the invisible parts of adolescent girl. Next is visible changes in adolescent girl are the growth spurt. There is sudden increase in the height and body fills out. The greatest increase in the height occurs around 10 to 11 years for the girls. The girls usually stops growing 16 to 18 years. Next is breast. Breast will start to develop and will become larger and fuller. Next is hair growth. Youngster can notice hair growing on their arms, underarms, legs, upper lips, etc. starting during this period. Hair grow in the pubic area is also happened during occurring during this adolescent age. Body odor. The adolescent sweat glands and are becoming more active. so they will set more, and body odor is a part of visible change during adolescence in girls. Then pimples, the oil glands or sebaceous gland produce an oily substance called sebum. This sebum blocks the pores of the skin and combines with the bacteria. The person can get pimples. Next, sexual feelings. At this age, young girls may start to feel sexually aroused and spend time in fantasy world thinking about love and sex. The movements of hormone inside make the younger feel for sexual, and the body is changing. So these are the visible changes. So there is visible and invisible changes occurring in adolescent females. They are invisible changes: ovaries, uterus, fallopian tube, vagina, and visible changes in growth spurt, breast, hair growth, body odor, pimples, and a sexual feeling. So these are all about this chapter, this unit 1 of block number 3. I will be with you with a new chapter in the next video. Thank you for watching.